Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you are a regular here. This is the continuation of the Idaho 4 series of readings, and today I'm looking at Stacy Chapin, another one that slipped through the net. I don't know how I missed her, but I did somehow. So we're going to be doing the usual, looking into Stacy Chapin's energy, her intentions, her knowledge or lack of. Yeah, so this is a tarot reading. I use oracle cards, I use tarot cards, and occasionally I might receive messages from spirit during a reading as well. And who knows, maybe Ethan will pop into this reading. He has been known to in the past. So we're having a look at Ethan's mum, Stacy Chapin. This is a tarot reading. It is open to interpretation. I don't claim any of this to be factual. It's the opinion that I have when I draw the cards and I interpret them in a certain way, and you may look at these cards and interpret them in a different way, and I encourage you to do so. So this is for entertainment purposes only, and I do not claim any of it to be factual. So we're starting as usual with the Clarifying Life Situations deck. Guys, it's just off slightly. No, it's that way. As usual, my tech having issues as always. I feel like this camera's moving by itself, which is a bit weird. Okay. It's so weird because I could have sworn that I did a reading on Stacy Chapin, but there's no sign of it if I did. Unless it was magically disappeared, I don't know. But the first card is Spiritual Retreat, and it says, seek solitude to reconnect with your inner wisdom and emerge rejuvenated. And then we have Carried Away. Let yourself be caught up in the whirlwind of a romantic moment. I mean, the spiritual retreat, I don't know if it's actually as obvious as it seems. Is she spiritual? Is Stacy someone that is spiritually healthy? And I mean, we look at spiritual retreat and we think of a hippie camp kind of thing, or you know, somewhere where you go and meditate all day and practice your yoga. But this could also indicate some sort of religious excursion or something. So it could be either. When I think of the word spiritual, I do always think of traditional religion in that as well. So she may have had to take herself away at some point since Ethan's passed to re-ground herself and restore some balance. Maybe more than that. Maybe she is spiritual in the sense of she does believe in the afterlife. But we've also got Carried Away. Let yourself be caught up in the whirlwind of a romantic moment. I'm actually ignoring what it says underneath carried away. It's the carried away that is jumping out at me, because I just keep seeing Ethan being carried away. And that can mean anything. That doesn't necessarily mean he was carried away as in he was abducted. It could be about him being carried away, you know, his body being removed from the house. And I don't know if she witnessed that, or I'm just getting an image of it being replayed, and that might have been something that she had to live with, the image of that replaying over and over again in her mind, which is really sad. So the next deck is the Power of Self-Direction deck. So I've got apology card, reconciliation, and it says underneath fellowship, repairing relationship. Who would that have been? Was it a card sent to her, or was it a card sent from her? Fellowship. Fellowship kind of gives me the energy of like a fraternity, something like that, you know. Did she get an apology card from the fraternity? I mean, that would be weird. Apology, really? Unless it was something along the lines of, we're so sorry that this happened. I don't know. Because I remember I did that reading where the night before, or some previous, I mean, the time is under, it doesn't exist in the afterlife. So when I am communicating with spirit and they say things to me like, oh yeah, the night before it happened, is not actually necessarily accurate. It could be the week before or the month before, but at some point before the atrocities took place, Ethan had been in contact with his dad and mum, I think, I don't know, saying he was worried about this run-in he'd had with a friend. Or was it a friend, or was it someone else? I don't know. But basically they'd asked Hunter to just keep an eye out for him, just to make sure he was okay. Okay, so the next card is Soul Whispers, Internal State, Nature Therapy, Finding Spiritual Release. Sorry, Soul Whispers, Eternal State, not internal. Again, there's that card of spiritual retreat again, spiritual release. I mean, it could just be indicating that she had to have some kind of therapy, and it might have been spiritual therapy, to get through this. She may have also been desperately trying to contact or get something from Ethan. Maybe after he passed, I mean. The next deck is Echoes of This Soul Oracle deck. Okay, thank you, Spirit. The first card is Aftermath. Which is, the key themes for this is resilience, survival, processing trauma, healing, renewal, strength in recovery. The message on this card: the storm has passed, and though the scars remain, they are not the end of your story. Aftermath is a card of resilience and survival, reminding you of the strength it took to endure and the courage it takes to heal. This is your time to gather the broken pieces. Honor your experience and begin to rebuild. Healing is not linear, and transformation comes through patience and self-compassion. The pain you've endured can be a foundation for growth. How interesting, because that's very much significant about regarding Ethan's smile, the charity she set up. As each step forward brings you closer to renewal and empowerment. Guidance. This card acknowledges the challenges you've faced and the emotional weight you may still be carrying. Aftermath encourages you to pause, reflect, and prioritize your well-being. Your survival, you've survived, and now it's time to focus on healing and rediscovering your inner strength. Be gentle with yourself as you process your experiences and explore the lessons they hold. Transformation is possible when you allow yourself the time and space to mend, release, and rise anew. How will you nurture yourself as you rise stronger and more empowered? Which is interesting. And then this card is the Glamorous Veil. Key themes: elegance, illusion, hidden truths, authenticity, self-awareness, breaking through facades. Message: all that shimmers is not gold, and all that dazzles does not reveal the truth. The glamorous veil represents the layers of illusion we sometimes weave. Whether to protect ourselves, impress others, or mask vulnerabilities. While there is power in presenting a polished image, there is equal power in daring to let the veil slip. Beneath the glamour lies raw, unfiltered reality, and in this authenticity, true connection and inner peace are found. It says here, while there is beauty in elegance and effort, it's worth asking, what are you masking and why? Is the veil serving you, or is it keeping you from deeper truths? The glamorous veil suggests that true radiance comes not from the perfection others see, but from the courage to embrace and reveal your authentic self. I feel this is complex. I don't feel it's as simple as Stacy Chapin hiding something, or I feel she's torn between knowing something. Maybe she does know more about what happened that night. And there's good reason why she's not sharing the truth. And I think it has something to do with other people who are also in her family that she's protecting. I mean, I mean, it could be because they have knowledge. I'm not saying they're directly involved, but also because there is an overall threat. There is an overall threat, and I feel there wasn't, and I've picked this up in previous readings as well, is that there was an overall threat or an energy threat to their family. So very much like the Gonzalez, to be honest. So the next deck is the True Crime Oracle. I don't particularly like this deck, guys, but Spirit insisted that I use this because this always feels more like an instruction manual than an oracle deck, but we'll see. So I have got Ethan just saying none of it was her fault. I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it was. So hard when you've got someone who's so close to the person you're reading, because you know you can't just sit here and... I mean, I'm going to be honest anyway, but it's like... you know, I'm not going to, what's the word? I'm not going to disrespect the energy that he has for his mum at all. Okay, so we've got investigative mind. Develop an analytical approach to your challenges, approach problems with curiosity and an open mind, ask questions and seek out answers to gain a deeper understanding. I mean, I can't really ask questions, though I'd like to, but obviously I can't. Well, I can ask spirit, I suppose. The investigator's path. Approach your challenges with a detective's mindset. Break down complex situations into smaller parts and methodically analyse each element. Stay focused on uncovering the core issues. It just feels like this deck is just each card saying the same thing in a different way. Just going to, for the fun of it, I'm going to pull another one, just see if it does say anything different. I'm not being imaginative enough, apparently. Investigate evidence that seems puzzling or unclear. Dig deeper to uncover its significance and relevance. Enigmatic evidence often holds the key to understanding complex issues. Who wrote this? I mean, it has to be written for a police officer, because this is the sort of instructions they would need. Sorry to say. Right, now we're going to do the Path of Shadows. I'd love to know who Stacy Chapin's friends were before this happened. Labyrinth. Among the confession of the twisting turns and the endless chase, will I find myself in the heart of this maze? Among the, sorry, it's not confession, among the confusion of the twisting turns and the endless chase, will I find myself in the heart of this maze? And it's the Labyrinth card. That is exactly how I would describe this case. It is an absolute labyrinth. It's like every time you think you're getting somewhere, you turn a corner and there's another 10 doors or 10 twists and turns, and I have no idea how I'm going to put this all together. When it comes to that time, I try not to think about it, but I'm sure it will all come together in the end. This one is potion, transformation, resourcefulness, change. It's got nothing to do with transformation, resourcefulness or change. It's something to do with potion. It's something to do with Ethan being incapacitated through substances. as far as Stacy's concerned, he was rugged. But he may have, that may have been voluntary. It may have been his choice to take certain substances that night. Okay, so he's confirming that he did obviously willingly take certain substances, but something he did take did have an effect on him that was not right, or he says he remembers getting really angry. They're at the party. He's showing me they were at the party, and he started to lose his patience with Xana, because she was just acting so like she was so wasted, and he was just starting to lose. He was like, why is she so wasted? We've had the same, we've been together, we've both consumed the same amount, kind of thing. He couldn't figure it out, and he now knows it's because she's a female, it's gone through her system quicker. It wasn't long before he was in the same state, but not long before they were both in a he's giving me energy of it's like he's rehypnol. It's like it got to the point where they couldn't, he's aware of what's going on but unable to do anything about it. Okay, this isn't your reading, Ethan, it's Stacey's. It's your mum's. So let's do the tarot. Spiritual retreat. Is there another reason why she decided to go to a retreat of some kind? Maybe she was hiding out. Maybe she was worried about her safety, worried about... I don't know. Clarified by the Eight of Swords reversed and the Knight of Swords. So yeah, she felt trapped. The Eight of Swords is feeling trapped or not knowing what to do next. And the Eight of Swords reversed is freeing yourself, getting yourself out of a sticky situation. It's what it feels like. The Knight of Swords could be her, but it could also be someone who she felt was chasing her, or someone that she felt was after her. Now, that could be an when I say imaginary, if, for example, she genuinely doesn't have any idea who did this to her son. She's obviously thinking, say obviously, that's an awful word, not obviously. She may have been thinking there must have been a reason why someone would go after Ethan. Why have they gone after my son? Are they done? Have they... Is there more to come? Am I safe? It's that kind of thought process. Carried away. Clarified by the Star. And the Hierophant. So this feels more like the time when he would have been carried out of the property. Which is another bizarre thing, because no one's ever seen any evidence of that actually happening. Ever. And I have said from very early on, I don't think they were ever in. I don't think they were ever in that property. That's why you didn't see them coming out. But the Hierophant, this is some kind of official, whether it's the forensic people, whether it's law enforcement, whether it's paramedics, I don't know, but that's representing them. And the star, oh God, the star is how she felt. It's like the hope that they got it wrong, that even the most bizarre feeling that it was all a joke, like Ethan would just jump up at any minute and say, haha, got you, even though it would be the sickest joke in the world. But there was that part of her that felt, any time now I'm going to see it's not actually real. It's apology card, reconciliation, 3 of Cups, the Hanged Man reversed. Apology card, reconciliation, 3 people. It feels like something, it feels like a friendship that was once very strong. Didn't I say to you just now, I'd like to know who her friends were when this happened? Something not right about one of her friends. But there is 3 people here. There's Stacy, there's a friend. Maybe they had a friendship group of 3 people. There's one of these friends turned out to be a snake. And then we've got the Hanged Man in reverse. Which is just a complete refusal, point blank, of even bothering to try and see any of this from someone else's perspective or angle. It's like, I don't have to do that. As far as she was concerned, it's like, I do not need, or I do not have to put myself in someone else's shoes to try and see their side. You have to be kidding me. I'm getting anger, I'm getting, yeah, just absolute kind of being astounded by someone that actually expected her to do that. Soul Whispers, Eternal State, Nature, Therapy, Finding Spiritual Release. Clarified by the 8 of Pentacles and the Tower reversed. So the 8 of Pentacles to me feels like being able to put this to some sort of positive use. So that would indicate, again, this is about Ethan's Smile, the charity that she set up in his name, which also kept her very busy. And I don't know if she's already working or she had a job before this. I don't know. But either way, imagine if she was working full time and she was doing that. She constantly, you know, this is her on the go. It's an avoidance tactic as well, to avoid having to think about Ethan in any other way than in the positive way of the good that he was doing for people after he passed. The Tower in reverse is that basically saved her from herself, this saved her. The Tower would have been her complete and irreparable decline without having that. So then we've got the Aftermath card. Clarified by the Ten of Swords reversed and the King of Wands reversed. The Ten of Swords is coming out the other end of a very painful ending. It's the point where you say, I've got to stop, you know, I've got to stop feeling sorry for myself and I've got to start trying. Yeah, it's like the point of starting to recover, the point of starting to fight, the point of starting to move on, if you like. And then the King of Wands reversed. I mean, I don't know Ethan's zodiac, but if he's a fire sign, there would have been an element of her that felt guilty for feeling like she was leaving him behind in some way by dishonouring him, by actually getting out of bed and living her life. Or I'm not saying that she ever was in her bed, but it's like it's making a conscious decision to say, I cannot keep going through every single day grieving for Ethan. And she had to make a conscious decision to start doing something positive, but at the same time it felt wrong at times that she should be grieving for Ethan, that she should grieve every single day of the rest of her life for Ethan. But it's the way you grieve that is the difference. It's, of course, you grieve every single day for your children if they pass, but it's how you do it. You can do it in productive ways. You can grieve in positive ways. So it could be that. The Glamorous Veil, which was a very interesting card. Clarified by the Ace of Cups. Wow. The Three of Pentacles. Oh boy, oh boy. So the Ace of Cups is her love, her her love, her devotion, her commitment, her protection of all of her children, not just of Ethan. And then we've got the Three of Pentacles, which does indicate the triplets. So that Glamorous Veil card is something to do with not wanting to, but having to hide behind a veil. Is it worth asking, what are you masking and why? Is the veil serving you? Apparently so. I would think it is, yeah. Maybe one day she'll get to tell her truth. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? The investigative, these stupid cards, which I feel like I'm wasting time actually clarifying, but I'm going to put all these three together because they all mean the same thing, really. Nine of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles reversed. So I think she's very proud. I think Stacy is very proud of her family and also of what she's achieved. I think she's proud of her own resilience. I think she's proud of her family's resilience. But one thing that feels uncomfortable for her is we've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And it's a charity. She set up a charity, so I'm assuming she's not raking in lots of money from that. But it may be that some money has come in from somewhere since his passing, and I don't know how that would manifest or how that would transpire, but she doesn't like it, she doesn't want it. It might even be things like being paid for documentaries and things like that. It may be that someone's made her feel that way. It actually makes me feel like it's someone she knows. It makes me feel like this could be something to do with the friend that she fell out with, because I'm getting a replay of someone saying, "Oh, you're raking it in, aren't you? I bet you're loving it now," or something like that. Come down off. It's like I can hear someone saying, "Come down off your high horse. You miss something." It could even be a relative of hers. It could be, it may not be a friend. It may be a relative. I don't know. But this is someone that she once was very close to, that showed a very different side during or after the unalivings. So these last two cards, Labyrinth. Among the confusion of the twisting turns and the endless chase, will I find myself in the heart of this maze? Clarified by the Wheel of Fortune reversed. And the Nine of Swords reversed. So it does feel like continuous turmoil, the constant battle that she must be going through. It also makes sense why, because she has stated she had no intention of going to any of the hearings or going to the trial, and because she said, why would I need to see, you know, I don't need to look him in the eye, Brian Koberger, why would I need to do that? Which is probably a normal emotional reaction to anyone that's son has been killed by someone. I think I would want to look in the person's eyes. Not because I want to see what's in their eyes, I want them to see what's in my eyes. It's more about that. But yet she wasn't interested. And that to me is a huge clue, because she knew it wasn't him. And she knew it wasn't him, and she knew who it was. And she was essentially sending someone innocent to their death, and she couldn't look at them because of that. Potion. So this is about the evidence of narcotics, or maybe evidence. I mean, sorry, when I say evidence, what's that word? Actual evidence? The messages I've had that he was intoxicated beyond, he was incapacitated beyond what he took, is what he said. Yeah, evidence. There is no such thing as evidence, not even in the actual court. So one more card, guys. King of Cups in reverse. He comes in every single reading. Oh, thank you. Excuse me. King of Cups in reverse every time. But why is he coming in with that card? Oh, unless it is Ethan. It's someone else that's passed. Wow. Ethan's telling me that there was someone else there that night. And I don't know at what point in the evening, or whether it was at the party, or that was also taking the same batch of stuff. Who also passed. I'm a bit confused by this because I'm not sure whether they were actually... Okay, so he's not made it clear that they were at the same party, or it's, you know, in the same company, but someone else that night in the area, someone around who also took the same batch, the same stuff, the same, from the same person, also passed. So someone in Moscow, I don't know how easy it's going to be to look it up, probably male, also passed that night from an OD. And there could be several people. I mean, I don't know, would there be several people that passed from an overdose in a small town? I don't know, but that's interesting. I'm going to have to do a bit of research on that. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you. If anyone's interested and would like to book a live reading with me, I'd love to meet you. All you have to do is just click on the link below in the description and it'll take you straight to my calendar and you'll be able to book in. Yeah, so I'll leave that with you guys. As always, thank you for your love, your support, your encouragement and your engagement. I wouldn't be able to do any of this without it. I'll return to you tenfold. I'll see you next time. Enjoy the journey.